let's talk about frequency adverbs. Now, in a previous video, we talked about the present simple, but I understand that depending on your native language, the present simple can be a little confusing. So, I want to teach you about some words that can help you. Remember, the present simple is used in habitual actions and in facts. Frequency adverbs will help us to make an action habitual. Okay? So here are some examples. Always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, and never. Okay? Now, all of these are frequency adverbs, and some of them can be a bit special sometimes, but in general, all frequency adverbs go before the main verb of a sentence. So that means I can say, I go to the cinema, which is perfectly okay, but if I want to make it a more specific habit, I can tell you, I often go to the cinema. Okay? Or, I never go to the cinema, to tell you that I never go. So, let's look at some examples. Now, if I go to the cinema once a week, I often go to the cinema. If I go to the cinema once a month, I sometimes go to the cinema. If I go to the cinema once a year, I hardly ever go to the cinema because it's not common. And then, if I don't go to the cinema, I never go to the cinema. Okay? So, in general, this is something that is very, very important because it will force you to use the habitual action in the present simple. So, another important thing that you can use in the present simple is, in fact, the frequency expressions. Okay? Frequency expressions, some examples could be once a month, twice a year, 5 times a day, or every day, every night, every morning, okay? Now, these all go at the end of a sentence. So I can say something like, I drink coffee every morning, okay? Or I go on holiday once a year, okay? Now, these can substitute the frequency adverbs, okay? But it is your decision if you prefer to use one or the other. Something important, when you talk about the amount of times that you do something, we have once and twice, which are special words for 1 time and 2 times. But when you get to 3, it is always 3, the number, and times. So 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, etc. Okay? Now, the frequency adverbs and the frequency expressions are both very important in the present simple, and they can actually make your present simple sentences sound much better. So remember to use them. Let's review, 2 seconds. We have the frequency adverbs, such as always, usually, often, hardly ever, never, etc. And those go before the main verb. Okay, so I often eat pizza. Okay? If it is a negative sentence, it is still before the main verb. So I don't usually eat pizza. Okay? So just remember, frequency adverbs before the main verb. The frequency expressions at the end of the sentence, I eat pizza once a week. Okay, so remember to study, remember to review, and use your frequency adverbs. Bye!